bird of paradise and headstands.
What?
No headstands.
Donna, this is a level 1, 2. We can get into the bird of paradise. We can build up to a headstand.
You can do it in level 1 next class. Just kidding.
It's pushing it. I made it to one class. I'm not staying for 2.
Let's start seated, as most of you are, and maybe cross legs, if that's comfortable for you. And you can take the shoulders up towards the ears, and then roll them slowly onto the back, and then maybe bring them forward, and then up towards the ears, and slowly onto the back. Maybe close the eyes as you take another roll of the shoulders. Nice breathing already. And once the shoulders get on the back, one of these times, let them relax there, let them soften there, let them stay there, let the heart center be open, let the hands relax, let the ears rest over the shoulders, and begin to notice your breathing. How the breath comes in freely and out. And just a few more breaths just like this. Keeping your legs in the same position that you have them in right now. Bring the hands to the mat in front of the legs and start to fold over the legs. Maybe let the head hang and be heavy here for a moment. A little gentle stretch in the back of the neck, perhaps. Perhaps if you find the shoulders, though, coming up toward the ears, you soften them again down the back. Unless, of course, it feels nurturing to release the shoulders down. Take another breath here as you are. Then slowly sit back upwards. Bring the hands behind you. Step the feet onto the mat in front of you. And lift the hips up off of the mat. 3 breaths as you are. Perfect. Nice breathing. When you feel ready, your bottom comes down without much thought. Switch the crossing of your legs. Try not to overthink it. Find that seated position again with the shoulders over the hips. Maybe take a few shoulder rolls if you feel it serves you here. Or maybe keep the shoulders still. Drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Keeping that right shoulder down though. Resist the urge to push or force the right ear down. Just let gravity do more of the work. And bring the head back up to center. Left ear drops to left shoulder. Slowly bring the head back up to center. Hands come on the mat in front of the legs. Fold over again. If it feels like it's the same hip that you're opening as you did the last time, just sit back up, cross the legs the other way, and then pull back over. Sometimes we do overthink the switching or the crossing. Take another breath here as you are. Slowly sit back upwards, bring the hands behind you onto the mat, step the feet onto the mat in front of you. Lift the hips up when you're ready. 3 deep intentional breaths here as you are. When you feel like those 3 breaths have happened, release your bottom down. Drop the knees over to the right. Left hand's going to come onto the right knee. Find your twist to the right. Breathing here. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Ready? Face forward again with your heart. Bring the left hand behind you. Bring the knees up and drop them over to the left. Right hand comes onto the left knee. We're on the other side, twisting to the left. One more breath. Slowly untwist, facing forward again. Keep your left knee as it is, but drop your right knee out to the right so the soles of your feet come together. Your knees drop away from one another. Perfect. Bring your hands maybe down onto your feet or ankles or by your lower legs. Sit up nice and tall for a moment. Draw the navel in and up to sit even taller. Perfect. Soften the jaw. On your next exhale, keep this long spine, but start to fold over the feet. So rather than rounding forward, this time keep the core engaged and keep it an active spine as well as active legs here. Another breath as you are, but then just feel the area, just not by touching them, but by being aware of it. The area at the outside edges of your legs. So from the thighs down to the ankles. And think about pulling that area down towards the mat a little bit more. So putting a little more effort into that. It doesn't have to move, but you're putting that effort into it. Now take one more breath like that. And slowly sitting back upwards. Stretch the right leg wide out to the right. Awesome. Pressing that heel down. Perfect. Right hand can come onto the right leg. Left arm comes up to the sky. Tip over to your right as you slide that right hand downward towards that right ankle or foot. Keeping both side bodies long. So think about lengthening even that right side. As if you're going to tuck your right armpit over your right toes. Rather than trying to get the side body down to the thigh, think about extending it so that that armpit is dangling over the right toes. Anybody have their armpit there yet? Just kidding. And rotating the left wrist. Awesome. One more breath. Slowly sitting back upwards. Bend that right knee, bring the right shin right in front of the left shin. So instead of on top of it, let it be a little forward. So less of an easy pose, more of a pigeon-like position with that right leg. Then bring the hands in front of the right shin on the mat. Maybe it's in front of the right knee, right ankle, and start to fold over that right shin. So less like we were a moment ago with easy pose, more directed over that right shin. The left sit bone might even lift up a little bit. Doesn't have to stay as rooted as the right. And it might not feel all that intense like a pigeon does. It shouldn't. Not here, not yet. Perfect. Just one more breath. And slowly sit back upwards. Stretch the left leg wide out to the left. Left hand is eventually going to come onto the left leg somewhere. Right hand comes up to the sky. Tip to your left. Over that left leg. Maybe the left hand slides down towards that left foot. But then again, lengthen that left side from the hip to the armpit. Keep it as long as that right side body is. Even if that means sitting up more. Yes, and stretching outward more versus downward. Even if right away you're not feeling the most intense side body stretch. Allow the core to be active and strong and engaged. Maybe that right wrist gets rotated a few times. Only if it serves you. Maybe it's that right shoulder that needs a little adjustment and you release it away from the ear. another breath. Slowly sitting back upwards, left knee bends, left shin comes right in front of that right ankle-ish area. Most of you know pigeon, you're very familiar and in love with pigeon. Left shin forward, that's our focus. Hands come in front of that left leg somewhere so you can start to fold over that left knee, shin, ankle area. It doesn't have to be exactly at the shin. But in fact, if you're not feeling anything in the outer left hip whatsoever, other than ease and comfort, maybe you adjust your upper body a little bit by lengthening it, or by shifting over to the left a little bit, or to the right just a little bit. Or think about where your sit bones are, or your tailbone, and lifting those upwards a little bit towards the sky. So you're finding the ever so slightest, not a great sentence, back bend. Yes. Ever so slightest. Maybe it's okay. It's all good. Take another breath. And slowly start to sit back upwards. We're going to take both legs wide out. So right leg, left leg, as wide as you comfortably can make them now. You can turn sideways on your mat. So your heels are on the mat if you need them to be. But sitting up nice and tall at first. And maybe letting the hands relax. Maybe that's on the legs, maybe that's in front of you, maybe that's behind you. But rather than going anywhere forward or backwards, if you can find the shoulders right over the hips, close the eyes. Maybe find that perfect position where your hands feel actually comfortable versus forced. And then in order to sit upright here, the core is active. And maybe that ever so slightest back bend is in place here too. Feeling perhaps the tug forward or backward and resisting that tug at all. And the chin be parallel to the ground beneath you. Nice. Just another breath as you are before you start to find a little forward fold when you're ready. So hands can come down to the mat in front of you. And maybe find mild boundary here versus anything too intense. Keeping both side bodies long. Core, meaning the front body is nice and long as well as the back body. And as you find this tip forward, maybe that ever so slightest back bend comes into play as well. And that might cause you to sit up a little bit, but that's okay. It's a slight back bend. The core is engaged. Take another 2 breaths, but with softer foreheads, jaws, and tongues here. When you're ready, slowly sit back upwards. Bring one leg in at a time, bending the knees, then bring the feet to one side, come onto your knees, and then your hands, finding tabletop position. And then allowing perhaps any movements that feel right to your body. So ups and downs of the spines, side to side of the hips. Maybe all of that, none of that. Perfect. Take another 2 breaths here as you are. Find that neutral spine, that flat back. And stretch the right leg straight back behind you, lifting the foot up. Rotate the right ankle a time or 2. Establish your hand position. So really spread the fingers, root down into both hands, soft bend in the elbows, but the heart center's open. Then bend the right knee, bring it out to the right, and make some big circles here. Perfect. Take another big circle, keeping the heart center open and the neck long. And then keeping that right knee out there to the right, look over at it if that's okay with your neck, and stretch the right foot all the way out to the right. Keep it out there, just straighten the leg. Keep the foot lifted if that's okay. Get a little lift with that right hip. Perfect. Then keep the right leg straight. Bring your gaze back to neutral. Meeting down on the mat. Perfect. Stretch the right foot all the way back behind you and then all the way over to the left. Place the toes down. Look back over the left shoulder. Heart center staying open. So check in with the integrity of the rest of your body versus just the hips or the legs here. Perfect. One more breath. Stretch the right leg back behind you, lifting the foot up, and place the right knee down next to the left knee. Pivot the right shin out to the right. Yep, and stretch the left foot back behind you, but keep the toes down this time. Beautiful. Reach the left hand up towards the sky as you place that left hip in line with the right hip. Here's our first half moon, but modified on a knee. So maybe you stay here with the left foot down. Maybe you lift the left foot up. Perfect. Breathing wherever you are. One more breath. Left foot comes down if it's not already. Left hand comes down if it's not already. Left knee comes next to the right knee. Wag your hips from side to side. And then sit your bottom back onto your heels or onto a block. Reach the hands up towards the sky. Turn the palms, or interlace your fingers first, and then turn the palms upwards. That might require a really deep bend in both elbows, but extend the palms of the hands upwards still, regardless of how bent your elbows are. Then draw your navel in, find that neutral spine rather than any kind of back bend here. Yes. We're going to arch over to the right. Think about the balance that requires in shifting your weight a little bit to the left, in lengthening both side bodies here. So if we cave too much in the right, we shift a little too much in the left hip, then we might lose our balance. So be mindful and active here. Take another breath. Slowly coming back up to center. And when you're ready, other side. Tipping over to the left a little bit. Both side bodies long, core active and strong. Shoulders away from the ears, so no additional tension is needed here in our lives. Noticing the shift of weight, balancing out. Often life requires that. Another breath. Slowly come back up to center, releasing the hands down slowly. Nice. Hands come over the mat in front of you, walk them forward, find tabletop. If you need a few movements, take them. But eventually stretch the left leg back behind you, lifting it up. Maybe rotate the left ankle a few times. And here's that time where you're establishing the palms of the hands pushing down into the mat. Fingers widespread, heart center open with a micro bend in the elbows. Yes. Then bend that left knee, bring it out to the left. Make some big circles with that left leg now. Perfect. Breathing. Take one more big circle, and then keep that left knee out there to the left somewhere. Look at it gently so your neck's still comfortable and your heart center's still open. Then just extend that left leg straight out there to the left, keeping it upward away from the mat. Perfect. Keeping the navel drawing in. Keep the outer right hip hugging in as well. Beautiful. Keeping that left leg straightish. Turn your gaze neutral, so it's in between the hands. Maybe you're a little forward. Stretch the left leg back behind you. And then over to the right. Placing the toes down on the ground or mat. Maybe looking over the right shoulder. Staying active in the chest or open in the chest, active in the arms. Perfect, one more breath. Stretch your left leg back behind you and then release the left knee next to the right knee. Pivot the left shin out to the left and stretch the right leg back. Reach the right hand up. Maybe the right foot stays down. Maybe you lift it up. Breathing here. Beautiful expressions. Staying open here. Another breath as you are. Bring the right foot down if it's not already. Bring the right hand down if it's not already. Bring the right knee next to the left foot back behind the right knee. And then come down onto your forearms. So lower down onto your elbows, and then your forearms will be right out in front of the elbows. But then keeping your elbows where they are, about shoulder width, bring the palms of your hands together and interlace the fingers. Perfect. And then I know my pinky always seems to feel a little too bumpy on the ground. If yours too feels bumpy, you can straighten out the pinkies, and the pinkies can touch still. Depends on how bumpy our pinkies are, see? Never even thought about bumpy pinkies. So the forearms are going to stay down as they are. Curl your toes under and broaden your chest. Stay there. So open up the heart center. Yep. Then maybe your head drops down in between your arms. It just drops. You're not actually pushing anything. Just drop that head downward maybe, if that's okay with your neck. Maybe you stay like that, hanging out there. Or maybe you snuggle your head down in between the forearms, and the back of your head snuggles right up against your thumb creases. We're not going into a headstand right now, so don't be afraid of that encouragement right now. I'm not encouraging you to do that. So find that snuggly place with the back of your head, maybe pushing gently up against your thumbs. Yep. And the crown of your head, meaning the tippity top of your head, is gently, really gently touching the mat. Even if you needed to right now, you could lift your head up off of the mat. That's how much, very little weight is on there. Another great sentence of mine. So if the toes are curled under and you'd like to lift the knees up off of the mat, feel free to do so. However, keep that tiny, tiny, tiny amount of weight on the crown of your head. If more goes onto the crown of the head, lower the knees back down. Or push down into the forearms a little bit more. Feel your chest staying open and the shoulders staying away from your ears, just like we've been doing in everything else. Take another breath here, pushing down into the forearms and elbows and outside pinky area of the hands. And then when you're ready, lower the knees down if they're not already. Come back up onto the palms of your hands. Walk the hands back towards the knees. Sit back onto the heels of your feet. And inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. This time, let the palms of the hands touch one another. No interlacing, unless of course you want to. Bend the elbows and drop the thumbs back behind you. Yes. Then draw your navel in and let the heart center turn slightly upwards. Maybe you stay here just like this and keep that heart center turning upwards with the navel drawing in, or maybe you push down into the tops of the feet, lift your bottom up so your hips are over your knees, and then keep turning the heart center upwards towards the sky. Navel still drawing in, elbows still pointing up towards the ceiling, breath still active and free. The breath is not free, back up just a little bit. One more breath here. And reach the hands back up. Release the hands down to the mat in front of the knees. Walk them forward, tabletop. Then curl the toes under, all 10. And lift the knees up off of the mat. Finding a downward facing dog, but pretty brief. another breath in your downward facing dog. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. And once you get there to your feet, allow the feet to feel stable and balanced, and to soften the knees as much as you need to in order to feel support, especially if we're not using blocks. So take another breath here. And we're going to walk the hands over to the right-ish side of the mat. Keep the hands where they are. Think about where all 10 toes are. Pivoting on the heels of your feet, we're going to turn all 10 toes to the right. And then if your hands are not over far enough for that to work, walk the hands over further. Knees can be really bent for this to happen. So all 10 toes are facing the right edge of your mat. Ish. Yes. Perfect. Now experiment a little bit with a bending of one knee more than the other and a sitting back of the hips. Most likely your left knee is going to bend more, and you might sit your hips back a little bit. Then experiment with maybe straightening out both legs a little bit more. We're not here long. It's nothing major. You're doing it perfectly. And we're going to turn the hands back no, I'm just kidding. To the front of the mat, pivot on the heels again, and turn all 10 toes to the front of the mat and pause. So find that neutral place first. Then keeping the feet maybe where they are. No, let's separate them a little bit so that they're at least hip width. Turn the toes outward, heels inward, bend the knees. Low yogi squat. And even if that means keeping the heels lifted or the hands down, let it be your low yogi squat. A very comfortable place for some, and then for others, not the most comfortable place. So hands might be at the heart center, outer arms might be on the inner legs, guiding those knees more open, the hips more open. Take another breath here, that's all. And slowly release the hands down, the hips up to the sky, turn the feet parallel first, and then walk the hands over to the left. Pivot on the heels, turning all 10 toes to the left. The transition has benefits in itself, just turning those toes. Then experimenting a little bit with bending maybe one knee more heavily than the other. My suggestion would be bending the right knee more and then sitting the hips back a little bit. Another breath. Walking the hands back towards the center of the mat, turning the 10 toes, pivoting on those heels, pausing. Perfect. Take another breath here. Then turn the toes outward again, heels inward, bend the knees, low yogi squat. We're just going to take one more breath as you are. But from here, we're ever going to so slowly, it's not a great sentence, we're going to go so slowly to an upright standing position. So in order to do so, engage the core, step into the feet a little bit more, even if that's just the toes, and start to straighten out the legs, finding yourself upright, turn the toes parallel or forward so your feet are parallel. Awesome. Keeping your hands at the heart center or bring them there. Step into the left foot and lift your right foot up. And it doesn't matter if it's an inch up off of the mat or a foot or 2 feet. Feel and find that balance. Perfect. Draw the navel in. Let the heart center be open. Find your drishti or your gazing point. Something to look at with your eyes that helps to stabilize or steady you. And don't think too much about this, but with your right foot, you're going to step it forward somewhere on the mat, placing it down softly. Awesome. To start, both legs can be straight. Reach the arms up towards the sky. Awesome. Now soften the right knee. And that doesn't have to be too much, but a little bit more. Left heel, which is already down because it was just down a moment ago. We just stepped forward with that right foot. The left foot is still in the same position. Maybe. Root that left heel down. Put a little emphasis into that. Yes. Then interlace your hands behind your low back, swimming them back there. Inhale, open up the heart, and on your exhale, start to fold forward over that right leg. Avoid going to the inside of it, but rather go straight down towards it. Resist gripping the mat with your right toes. Perfect. Take one more breath. Slowly come back upright to standing. Awesome. Release the hands, reach them back up towards the sky. Turn the palms towards each other if they're not already. Yep, let them touch. Bend the elbows, drop the thumbs back behind you. Straighten out that right leg without walking the knee. And then turn the heart center upwards towards the sky. Yes. Keep rooting down into that left heel, that back heel. And keep the tailbone tucked under. Awesome. One more breath. Shoulders back over the hips, hands back up to the sky. Then bring the hands to the heart center. Soften the left knee. Pivot onto the right heel. So just tip back a little bit. Trust yourself. Don't watch me. We're all doing it together. So the left knee is soft. The left foot's the one we're going to stand into. You're going to lift the right knee back up towards your belly, or the right foot up off of the mat, and tuck it in towards you a little bit closer. Right foot lifts. Yes, somewhere. Beautiful. Wait and not overthink it. Keep the hands at the heart center. Keep the right knee bent, but bring the right heel, the heel of your right foot, towards your right butt cheek or your buttocks, and drop your right knee downward. So right heel towards your bottom, right knee downward towards the left knee. Yes. Breathe. So softness in that left leg. Right heel reaching up towards your bottom. Tailbone still tucked under. Navel still drawing in. Breath still engaged. Take one more breath here. And release that right foot next to the left foot. Make any movements, dance moves that you need to. The floss. I'd have to think too much about that right now to get into it.
There you go.
But it's really like a brain game for me. Ready? Here we go. Feet rooted. Hands at heart center eventually. Take your time. All right. Left foot is lifting up, somewhere up off of the mat. There's no secrets now, so you know what we're doing. Find that balance and stability first. Maybe that means being more active in that left leg. Maybe we rely a lot on that right leg, but maybe it's the left leg that's going to hold us up. Maybe it's the balance of effort. Maybe it's the core. Maybe it's the breath. Maybe it's the mindset. Take another breath here. And then without overthinking it, because we have a tendency, stretch that left foot somewhere forward and just land it on the mat. That right foot stays right where it is. Awesome. Reach the hands up towards the sky. Soften the left knee. Right heel is reaching down and back. Yes, but avoid locking that right knee. Awesome. Take another breath as you are. And swim the hands behind your low back. Interlace them, maybe the opposite way when you get there. Open up the heart. And on an exhale, fold over that left leg, which is most likely right out in front of you. Breathing here. Still rooting back with that right heel, as if it is heavily glued to the mat. Heart center's open, knuckles reaching up and back behind you. Breath is full. Take another breath here, core engaged. Slowly stand back upright, reaching the right hand, the hands right up to the sky again. Palms touch one another. We're turning, yep, perfect. Straightening out that left leg perhaps, but avoid locking the knee. Bend the elbows, drop the thumbs back behind you. Tailbone tucked under, core strong. Start to turn the heart center upwards. Breathing here. Awesome. Shoulders back over the hips, hands back up to the sky, and then to the heart center. Soften the right knee. That's the back one. Pivot onto the left heel. Looks like you're ready to launch off. You can always wiggle it back and step into that right foot and bring the left knee up. Awesome. Beautiful. Take another breath here, getting that right foot as your foundation. Then as you drop the left knee downward, tuck the left heel up towards your body behind you. Elbows tucked under, heart centers open, cores engaged, shoulders on the back. Left heel tucking up there. Effort in that left leg, often not the most comfortable kind of effort. Softer jaws. One more breath. And then lift that left foot down. Floss again. Just kidding, inhale, return to up. Exhale, fold over the legs, swan dive, or hands to heart center, coming down into that very free forward fold, and then walk the hands forward. When you're ready, finding downward facing dog. Perfect. Take another breath here. Nice breath. Come forward to a high plank, push up position. Heart center open here. Tip both heels over to the right. That might mean one in front of the other, foot-wise, or one on top of the other. Then reach your left hand up towards the sky. As if there was a rope dangling from the ceiling, you were going to grab onto it with that left hand. Really reach upwards. Let the hips go with it. Take another breath. Hips lift up, up, up. Releasing that left hand down next to the right. Coming back onto 10 toes. Pausing. And then the same thing other side. So heels tip over to your left. And right hand reaches up. Engage that core. Long side bodies on both sides. Reaching up with that right hand. Grabbing onto that rope extended up there. It's going to hold you up. When you're ready, right hand comes down. Nice work. Come on to 10 toes. Shift your weight forward so you're up on those tippy toes. Maybe lower the knees first or lower all the way down to the mat. When you get down there, pause and stretch the right arm out to the right. Slowly roll onto the outer right edge of your body so the right hand's down on the ground. Move that pocket away. Yeah, perfect. Right hand stays down, rolling onto that right outer edge. This way. So keep this one right here. That's a good way to push it. Okay, so you're rolling over this way. Towards it. Yes. Exactly. Rest your head, that's okay. Yeah, you got it. So maybe the left leg stays as it is, maybe you bend the knee, maybe bend both knees, maybe the left foot is stepping under the mat behind the right leg. Any combination, as most of you know. Breathing here. And slowly roll back onto your belly, onto your front body. Switching sides so the left arm comes out to the left. Right hand underneath right shoulder. Yep, rolling onto that outer left edge of your body. Resting your head. Any variation. Finding the one that works for you, your hips, your back, your shoulder, your spine. One more breath. And slowly roll back onto your belly. Bring both hands underneath the shoulders, engage your core, come up into a tabletop position, all fours again. Beautiful. Then keeping your knees as they are, we're going to come down onto forearms again. So elbows down underneath the shoulders. And maybe even look at them, make sure that the elbows are as wide as the shoulders. Maybe measure them by making the hands come around the opposite upper arms or elbows. And then bringing the hands together, interlacing the fingers. If you want to extend the pinkies, go for it. But push down onto the outer edge of your hands, outer edges of forearms and elbows. And then when you're ready, maybe drop the head downward. Let the head be heavy. Or place the crown of your head on the mat and tuck or snuggle the back of your head into your thumbs against them, or separate your thumbs and snuggle them in that separated space. And curling the toes under. Keep the active arms in place. Most important thing here to start. Tiny little bit of weight on the head, tiny, tiny. Shoulders away from the ears, so keep reaching the shoulders away from those ears. Maybe the knees stay down, or maybe you lift the knees up off of the mat. Maybe this time you start to extend the legs a little straighter, and you tiptoe forward towards the heel, not the heels, towards your elbows. And still, the same weight is on your head, which is next to nothing. Because your arms are so active, your shoulders are so actively reaching away from the ears, your heart center is open, your side bodies are long, your core is engaged. Maybe you tiptoe a little closer to your elbows. You can come down at any point. Maybe you lift one foot up off of the mat. Maybe you place it back down. Remember, no pressure on the top of your head. You could lift the head up right now if you needed to. That's how light it is. If you have one foot up and you didn't do the other side, do it. If you did, bring the feet down. Eventually lower the knees down. Awesome. Take a child's pose. Let the blood return to the body parts that it was in a moment ago, perhaps. Another breath. Tabletop position when you're ready. All fours. Stretch the right leg back behind you. When you're ready on an exhale, tuck the right knee towards your chest. Tuck your chin in towards your knee. Arch the back upwards. When you're ready to inhale, stretch long again. Maybe even a slight back bend. When you're ready to exhale, bring that right knee in, tuck the chin. Take one more slowly like that. And the next time that right knee comes in, bless you, bring the gaze neutral. So rather than tucking the chin in, then step the right foot down in between the hands. Curl the left toes under. Those are the back ones. Lift off of the left knee. Beautiful. Walk your hands a little more forward. So maybe they're in front of your right foot, but wider perhaps. Step into that right foot. Maybe that means wiggling that left foot forward, or just lift it somewhere up off of the mat. Extend the right leg straighter. Avoid locking that right knee. Yep. Heart center is open. So if that means coming up onto those blocks or fingertips, or softening that right knee, do so. Turn the left toes to the left. Maybe your left hand feels really light. Maybe it comes up to your left hip. Maybe it comes up to the sky. It doesn't have to do any of those things, but it might. Allowing the heart center to now face the left side of your mat, keeping both side bodies long, which we've been doing the whole time. The core active. Yes. And really reaching up at that left hand if you have it up, as if you're going to grab onto something that's going to support you here. Perfect. Take another breath. Amazing. Left hand comes down to the mat. Soften the right knee. That's the standing one. Land the left toes somewhere at the back edge of your mat. And then wiggle them back there a little further. Lower the left knee down to the mat. Perfect. Take your right foot and heel toe that right foot over to the left side of your mat. Drop the right knee down and out to the right. Maybe at that point you tuck that right heel towards your left hip a little bit more. And then you slide that left knee back a little bit more. Maybe you stay upright. If you come down into your sleeping pigeon, and you find that back bend. Yes. A lot of space for that left hip flexor. So you can kind of go back a little more. This knee, so wiggle the knee back more. Yes. And your hips go down this way. Perfect, okay? Take 3 to 5 more breaths here as you are. When you feel like your 3 to 5 breaths have happened, you're going to lift your upper body, come back up off of the mat. Lean to your right as you soften that left knee. Yep. Bring the left leg all the way around and place the left foot on the outside of that right thigh on your mat. So the left foot takes the journey over to the right. Perfect. Wrap the right arm around your left knee or right hand on that left knee. Left hand comes behind you, twisting to your left. Awesome. And then notice your shoulders, not by looking at them, but by feeling them. Find that open heart again. One more breath here. Slowly untwist. Perfect. Bring that left leg over to the left somewhere. Come onto all fours. Tabletop. Stretch the left leg back behind you. Lifting that foot up. On an exhale, tuck the knee in towards the chest. The chin in there too. Then inhale, stretch the leg long, the neck long. Exhale, tuck it in. One more time, just like that. Slow and intentional. When it's in this time, keep it tucked in, but bring the gaze forward. Step the left foot down in between the hands. Curl the right toes under. Lift the right knee up. Walk the hands forward. And lift the right foot up. Yes. So finding that long spine. So if you feel yourself tipping down so much and shortening a side body, often it's this left side body, maybe walk the hands a little more forward in front of you and come up onto fingertips. Require a little less weight being put on your hands. Maybe the right toes turn to the right. Maybe the right hip elevates a little bit. Maybe the right hand comes to your right hip or up to the sky. And this side can be completely different from the other side. Sides often are. Reaching up with that right hand if it's up. Extending back with that right foot if it's up. Breathing if it's not already happening. Beautiful. Take another breath. And the right hand will come back down. The left knee will soften. The right toes will land at the back of the mat. Lower the right knee softly to the mat, or wiggle the right toes back further first if you're in a top down foot yet. Heel toe the left foot over to the right edge of your mat. Left foot over to the right. Perfect. Let the left knee drop downward. Yep. Maybe the heel even tucks in towards your right hip if it's too far forward right now. Right leg wiggles back longer and further behind you. Maybe you stay upright, finding that little bit of a back bend. Maybe you find that fold over that left leg more comfortable right now, more what you need. Taking 3 to 5 more breaths here as you are. And you feel like that has happened. Lifting your upper body back upright off of the mat, leaning to your left, softening that right knee, bringing the right leg all the way around, stepping the right foot to the outside of the left thigh on your mat. And then wrapping the left arm around the right knee, right hand comes behind you, sitting up tall, and twisting to your right. Taking another breath here. So I'm slowly untwisting, stretching the right leg wide out to the right, the left leg wide out to the left. And your ankles flexed. And then finding that comfortable position again for your hands, wherever that may be, where they can relax, where it doesn't feel forced. The shoulders, let them roll onto the back, let the core be strong, soft. Lift be in the gaze or the face area. Breathing here. And keeping the spine neutral. Bring the hands behind you. Point your toes a little bit at least. And lift things up. And it's your decision as to how high your body allows you to lift them. Fingertips or palms of the hands, it doesn't matter. Take another breath. Releasing the bottom down eventually. Navel draws back in and then find that forward fold. Ankles flex now. There might be some movement in that forward fold. There might be some stillness. Three more breaths here as you are. And your perfect 3 breaths happens. Slowly sit back upwards, bringing the legs inwards. Slowly scoot your body to the middle of your mat. Perfect. Straighten out the legs in front of you. Reach your hands forward. And slowly, closing the eyes, lower your bottom back, mid-back, upper back, and then eventually the head down the mat. And once you get down there on the mat, maybe that's it. Your body says that's time for Shavasana. Feel free to let Shavasana happen. If your body feels like a little stretch, go slowly with it. Reaching the arms maybe overhead, reaching from the toes to the fingertips. Maybe the knees come in, or the knees bend, and the feet are on the mat, or the feet are up. Maybe you rock a little bit if the feet are up. Maybe you rock your knees from side to side if the feet are down. Maybe the knees fall over to one side. And at this point, it doesn't matter which side you do first or which side you end with. And the movements that you take, intentional and purposeful. You've done one side with the knees to one side, but not to the other. Do so. eventually finding more expression of Shavasana. Typically, it's done with the legs long, on the mat, feet relaxed, arms alongside you, head comfortable on the mat beneath you. It doesn't have to be like that. You have your knees bent, with the feet on the mat, the knees falling towards one another. With the feet together and the knees falling open. You can even take Shavasana on your belly. Begin turning back to your breathing. Perfect and full inhale. And then a perfect and full and releasing exhale. Begin to deepen your inhales and exhales once again. Full inhales and full exhales. Notice the physical body in other ways and how you might need to move it at this point. Maybe toes wiggle and hands wiggle, maybe wrists move or ankles move. Maybe knees bend or elbows do. Maybe a full body stretch instead. The knees bend and you hug them in. Maybe rock a little bit from side to side. Eventually the knees and your body might roll over to one side into a fetal-like position. And from your side, ease your way up to a comfortable seated position, facing one another for a moment warrior. a moment more here to acknowledge that light within yourself. That place of wisdom, knowledge, intuition, bliss, and love. And honoring that light as well within everything and everyone, without exception or fear. It's always an honor to be here with you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Did we get them all in? I know we didn't get our feet off the ground completely, but we did handstand clap. Pigeon, biggest one.
I can't even do a headstand.
I get that.
Well, that's part of the
I have
practice,
the strength
right?
in my arms.
So the prep is actually often harder